Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, subscribing, leaving a comment, leaving 2 comments, or by leaving a like. You are helping out with my YouTube algorithm rankings. It's always very much appreciated. Welcome back to another News I Missed, where I go over news I missed. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. The percentage of Bitcoin on cryptocurrency exchanges has dipped further down to only 12% as the supply shock continues to deepen. As pointed out by an analyst at CryptoQuant, the percentage of Bitcoin supply stored on exchanges has now dipped down to just 12%. The all-exchange reserve is an on-chain indicator that measures the total amount of Bitcoin currently held by wallets on all crypto exchanges. The percentage of Bitcoin supply on exchanges is a metric that tells us the ratio between the exchange reserve and the total supply of the crypto. When the volume of this indicator moves up, it means exchange wallets are receiving a net amount of coins. As investors usually spend their coins to exchanges for selling purposes, the supply is often referred to as the sell supply of the market. Therefore, an uptrend and it can be bearish for the price of crypto. On the other hand, when the metric's value moves down, it means that holders are withdrawing their Bitcoin from exchanges. Prolonged such trends such as this can imply that there is an accumulation going on within the market, and the available supply is shrinking. Hence, downward movement of the indicator can be bullish for Bitcoin. The last time that we spoke about this, I believe the number was 18%. And then before that, I believe it was 22%. And then before that, I believe it was 24%. This was over the last 6 to 8 months, somewhere around there. We've been talking about and especially me, a Bitcoin supply shock for quite a long amount of time. The idea being is while people are distracted, whether it be with other coins, world events, what have you, people aren't paying attention to the amount of Bitcoin that's actively being accumulated by not only normal people within the market, but also very wealthy people in the cryptocurrency space. The idea of the supply shock is, here's the theory, at some point, Bitcoin's price is going to completely go up, keep going up, and up and up and up. And people realize, hey, I got to get me some of that BTC. Where do I get it from? They go into cryptocurrency exchanges only to find that there's not a lot left, or it's very scarce, depending on which cryptocurrency exchange that you go on to. And as people continue buying fractions and fractions and fractions of Bitcoin, well, the price continues to go up because all the larger players in the market who've been accumulating Bitcoin quietly, while prices have been going down and or sideways, are now the major holders of said coin. I think it is incredibly, I know that there will be documentaries. There's going to be some type of a movie done by the Winklevoss twins. I can feel it in the air. Done about this time in history as far as Bitcoin's price, movements down in the market, the accumulation that's happening behind the scenes. I'm ready for the movie. I don't know if I'm going to watch it in the first week when it comes out, but I'll see it too, like, when the theater's a bit more empty. Anyway, yeah, 12%. Think about that. 88% of all the Bitcoin out there is now just being taken off of exchanges and being held by people, which completely coincides with the news that, once again, just making sure everybody knows this, there are 3 companies that we know of for certain who are buying up all the Bitcoin that is created per day. We can also logically assume that the amount of people who are mining Bitcoin are also not selling every single coin that they make over the course of the day. We had that news a couple of 5, 6, 7, 8 days ago. Now, the people who are mining Bitcoin, we can see their wallet addresses and we see that their reserves continues to increase, meaning they are not selling in anticipation for the potential supply shock and or the increase in Bitcoin's price. So we are going to get news, I say mid-early February. The amount of Bitcoin on exchanges will dip down to 10%. And then we're going to have one day where it's 9%. People will begin to panic, but still go, no, Bitcoin's price isn't moving. And then it's going to hit 7%. And then before you know it, like, it's just a matter of math. I think people are so used to, the word isn't status quo. Like, if you see things around you always being the same, you kind of assume that things will always be the same. There was a point where it was 40% of all Bitcoin is, on exchanges. And then that became 30 and then 24. I think it seems almost unbelievable or inconceivable to people that the number 12 can go down to number 10, 10 can go down to 8, and then eventually 3% of all the Bitcoin that's left in the world is on cryptocurrency exchanges. And once again, if you've been watching videos on this channel and the other channel, and as I talk earnestly, is that the word about it? Who do you think is buying up all this Bitcoin when the price is where it currently is? Anyway, that's the Bitcoin supply shock news. Yeah. Don't say I didn't warn ya. And without further ado, let's move on. Next up, also I'm not sure why this news was so popular over the course of the week news. Like, this was actually a little smidge popular. It says NFTs are revolutionizing the art world, opening doors to many artists and allowing them to explore a different dimension of art making. As artwork, NFTs have made their way to the world's most renowned auctions and even hit records in sales. However, NFTs have been a controversial topic. And even the editors of Wikipedia, the world's largest online encyclopedia, are unsure whether NFTs can be considered art. The discussion on Wikipedia started when editors began reviewing the list of most expensive artworks by living artists, which included Beeple and Pak, that is P-A-K, another successful artist and NFT seller. Beeple and Pak have made successful NFT sales, and their artwork is highlighted on the list of most expensive NFTs. One of the people said, I see that Pak's merge has been removed, but we are keeping Beeple's everyday sale. Should that not also be removed from the list? Is it also an NFT for sale? If merge doesn't qualify, then perhaps Beeple shouldn't qualify as well. The Beeple work also consists of a large number of works and is not a single work like a Jeff Koons sculpture. Sure, why not? It is a compilation of works, sold as one. But does that make it a single artwork? I would argue that if we accept Beeple's everyday on the list, then other NFT works become eligible. I'm going to stop it right there and just simply say, and I shall not use a bad word, but who cares? Who actually cares? No one. Does anyone out there actually care? Anybody? No. Why this was one of the most popular news stories of the week, I have still yet to actually figure out. For those of you who do not know Jeff Koons, he is a very, very popular artist in the art world. Became very popular around the, I want to say late 80s, maybe early 90s, depending on when you kind of want to consider most of his work to be art. One of his more popular things, I believe he took a Hoover, that is to say a vacuum cleaner, and basically set it up on a pedestal and said, art. This is art. Another one of his pieces of works of art was he took a fish tank. I'm not joking. Type in Jeff Koons fish tank. It was a fish tank, I believe, filled with formaldehyde or some type of a buoyant liquid. And I believe he put 3 basketballs inside of it. That was the artwork. Another thing he did was I think he went to the store and bought a bunch of, like, have you ever bought a basketball? It comes in that that paper form to kind of like make sure that they can be stacked on top of each other. I believe he took 6 of them, 12 of them, not really sure of them, and stacked them on top of each other. That was the artwork. When Jeff Koons was just becoming known or popular within the art space, no one called his work art either because it looked ridiculous. Can you imagine imagine buying a fish bowl, not a fish tank, and you fill it with some type of a whatever, let's say clear Jello, and you drop a whole bunch of marbles inside of it, and you go, art. That's kind of exactly what Jeff Koons did. Same exact thing with Damien Hirst and many other artists who I also collect their artworks because their artwork continues to go up in value. The point being, why would anyone actually care? Now, hear me out here. What anyone actually thinks about anything. I I know, crazy, right? The fact that the people from Wikipedia made news headlines because they didn't consider something that other people consider art not to be art, does that mean that it is no longer art? A long time ago, if you've ever read up on, and I mean even more modern art history, I'm not talking about the 17, 16, 1500s. I mean more of like the last 120 years, somewhere around there. There were so many artists, even popular people who we know now, like Basquiat. Warhol was also not really taken seriously in the very beginning of his career. Same exact thing with Picasso and many other people who made expressionist paintings that weren't hyper realistic. These things were also not considered art until usually a benefactor stepped in and said, well, this is absolutely genius. Everyone else said, oh, it is genius. And everyone started buying their artworks. Why? Now, here's the closing statement. If Beeple had taken his work and had used an inkjet printer to create a print of his digital artworks, would that have been considered art? Absolutely. Immediately. There would have been no discussion about it. But I think it's because we're in this new digital realm. It's kind of the same exact way. You know how like many people in outside of our circle still do not consider cryptocurrencies to be either money, have value, or to be currencies. Do we care what they think? No. Because can you imagine if we had listened to what's old man's name? Warren Buffett or Jamie Dimon? Or the other Munger, if we had listened to these people years ago, cryptocurrencies are not an investment vehicle. Oh no, stop! I have to give away all my crypto because that guy said so. No, you would have lost out on tons of money. So why should we care at all what anyone thinks about any of the investments that we have or what we might actually consider art? I'm asking honestly. This was one of the more popular news stories, and I don't know if the people from Wikipedia were assuming that their word is law. If you've ever looked into how Wikipedia is even edited, you might want to, watch a documentary for that one, because a lot of times higher ups are able to actually have the final say on what actually goes on the website. So it's not even that I'm commenting on them not being decentralized. It's more of I don't use Wikipedia. Like, should I actually care what these people are saying about NFTs or any other thing on the planet? No. Anyway, that was the super popular this week. Wikipedia editors apparently don't consider NFTs as art. Do I care? No. Because listen, how much do you want to bet? If NFTs in the metaverse do become this gigantically massive thing and everyone's using them in about 5 to 10 years, how much do you want to bet at some point on Wikipedia, NFTs are just going to simply be considered digital art, and the sale of these things will simply be listed under art sales like they kind of already are? Anyway, that's the Wikipedia news. You should not care. Stop caring what other people say about this space. It's really annoying. Whenever we get rich and or influential people who say something negative about this space or think that they know about the space more than we do, or simply say that we are not investing in the proper things that they believe that we should be investing in, and we're supposed to care? No, sit down. No one actually cares what you think. Anyway, without further ado, let's move on. Next up, the number of Ether locked in Ethereum's 2.0 contract has exceeded 9 million Ethereum, or more than $28 billion using today's prices. The amount of Ethereum locked into the contract has exceeded 22.29% since the first week of September, when the contract held 7.4 million Ether. As we move closer to Ethereum 2.0 and the alleged merge and the upgrade of this gigantic network, the amount of people who are depositing their Ethereum into the Ethereum 2.0 contract continues to increase the same exact way that, first of all, the same exact way that Bitcoin is being taken off of cryptocurrency exchanges. Ether is also being rapidly taken off of cryptocurrency exchanges, and we've had that discussion many times on this channel as well. And now a large portion of it is being locked in the Ethereum 2.0 contract in anticipation of people being able to, whatchamajaggers, being able to stake their 32 Ether to be able to get their passive income from the network. This is not surprising. It's only going to continue to happen more and more. I told you the Ethereum issuance rate the amount of Ethereum being created by the network also decreases over time the same exact way that Bitcoin's does. As we get more usage of the internet, there are going to be more coins that are going to be burned. As more coins are burned and the lower issuance rate happens and more people continue to lock up their Ether, there's going to be a lot less Ethereum floating around out there, as we have already, I believe, 5 weeks ago, heard that Ethereum was at least then deflationary as the burn exceeded the actual creation of the coin. So I'm trying not to hold my breath. I assume that they're going to take until the very last moments to actually upgrade to Ethereum 2.0, which is supposed to be sometime in Q2, so I'm assuming sometime around June. But alas, trying to keep hope alive and all that. That's the Ethereum 2.0, 9 million Ether now locked inside of the network. Oh boy. And yeah, let's move on. Next up, THORChain contributors have announced that the cross-chain liquidity protocol has finally integrated the platform's features for Dogecoin. THORChain's native Doge liquidity pool has gone live, allowing users to trade their Doge as well as earn yield on their Doge as well. Decentralized finance has been made available to Dogecoin holders. THORChain contributors announced today the full integration of Dogecoin support. Users of the decentralized cross-chain liquidity protocol can now swap their Doge for other supported crypto assets as well as earn yield on their Dogecoin. For example, Doge can now be swapped directly for Bitcoin as opposed to wrapped Bitcoin. Ethereum, Binance Coin, Bcash, and Litecoin, various stablecoins, and several other Binance Smart Chain and or ERC20 assets via the THORChain protocol. So cool. I understand that this is quite significant, but it's more of this is happening to every other coin. I feel like Dogecoin has entered the pool of, what's the word? Legitimacy in some sort of way. I think Dogecoin and Shiba Inu are desperately trying to get away from any type of meme coin association kind of thing that's in some way tied to them, but it's called Dogecoin. Like, it looks like Dogecoin, and Shiba Inu is literally the name of a coin. But alas, I still understand. A large part of this is going to, it depends on the actual future of Dogecoin, but being able to lock up your coins in a platform, regardless of where it is, to give other people liquidity and also receive a yield from the actual Doge that you have left inside of the protocol is quite massive. It allows for another way of you not only being able to make money from the actual price increase of your cryptocurrency, but also the actual yield that you're making on the side as people are using the liquidity that you have provided. There's no number here anywhere in said article that explains how much yield you will get for your Doge, but realistically, if it's making you even 1%, is 1% more than you were making with it just sitting on your computer. So yeah, apparently THORChain has now integrated Dogecoin into their platform. I assume this will be quite popular until maybe another Shiba Inu type coin has popped up and that then becomes also integrated as well. That's the Shiba Inu news. And yeah, let's move on. Next up, Spanish financial regulator, the Comisión Nacional del Mercado de Valores, or CNMV, announced new regulations for crypto asset investment advertising. Ooh. According to the new circular that will take effect on the 17th of February of this year, crypto advertisements must be clear, balanced, and fair, while also providing sufficient information on the risks involved when investing in crypto. The new rules also require advertisers targeting 100,000 people or more to inform the regulator 10 days in advance. After the initial report, the remaining ad activities will be supervised by the CNMV, but will not require advanced reporting. So Spain has joined the long list of countries. I think this is their form of regulation in their own way. Of course, this is regulation, but you know what I mean. A lot of countries is one day after the other announcing that people who are looking at ads for cryptocurrencies or who may be exposed to advertisement that is telling them to get into or look into or buy a cryptocurrency must now have clear and concise things in their advertisement for that the people know exactly what they're going to be buying, etc., etc. I think this is absolutely wonderful. I think this is how it should be. I think everyone should be well informed of what they're going to be getting into, what they're going to be buying, what they're going to be investing in. But part of the issue is, and I do not live in Spain, is that many times when it comes to advertising, these types of protections don't necessarily equate to other things within the investment pool, i.e., I've walked down the street before and I've seen ads telling people to buy gold. Gold's a great investment. Gold is gold and it's a metal and people hold it and it's heavy and you can't spend it anywhere. Nowhere in the ad does it say like, oh, the price of this has actually gone down by 1% compared to Bitcoin over the last couple of years because no one's really buying gold and everyone's selling off their gold, so it might not be the best investment ever. I see tons of ads going around. You've seen them before. It's usually a mother and a father and like just one child, like just smiling awkwardly at the camera. And it's like, hey, buy a home. Your life is unhappy. You need to own a home. Usually it doesn't say anywhere on the advertisement, hey, you're probably going to be putting yourself in debt for the next 15 to 30 years. Just make sure if you can't pay your rent right now, you might not be able to pay this mortgage. Have you thought about renter's insurance and all the other things that are actually going to come with you actually having to own this? No, it's never usually in the actual ad. You're kind of just assumed to know all these things, that you have land fees, you have to pay for water, you got to pay for gas, you got to pay for cutting your own lawn. None of that is usually inside of there as well, but they want that same exact thing for the cryptocurrency ads. Same exact thing goes with stocks, bonds. Hey, these stocks might be manipulated. We have noticed over the last 15 or 20 years that a huge number of the stock market has actually been manipulated by very wealthy people within the space. See what I'm saying? So I think if consumer protection were like at the forefront of the entirety of every single government, that'd be absolutely wonderful because it would allow people to know, you know what? I kind of want to get into the market. I see that it's a little bit risky, but I'm okay with putting $50 inside of it. As opposed to telling people, no, it's fine. Take out this loan for $300,000. You'll be fine by the time you're 75. You'll be totally good. I promise you. Anyway, so this is the fifth one over the last couple of weeks. I tend to not bring you much governments talking about how ads have to be within their country news. But this was one of the more popular ones. I'm not really sure why. Like, I'm literally not sure why Spain made the popular news, if you will, but alas, here we are. So cool. I would love this protections to go across the entire field of investor advertising, but we know it won't. Anyway, that's the España news, and without further ado, let's move on. And to finish things off, I'm not sure if we went over this. I don't mean that. I don't know why I would even think I meant that in a joking way. There's so much Binance news and I cannot really keep track of it all the time. It says Binance has teamed up with a Thai billionaire. His name is Sarath Ratnavadi to set up a crypto venture in Thailand. The world's leading digital asset platform, Binance, has reportedly collaborated with the Gulf Energy Development, PCL, owned by the Thai billionaire Sarath. The main goal is to set up a cryptocurrency exchange in the Southeast Asian state. Thailand has recently positioned itself as a crypto industry, local, yada, yada. One of the individuals is Jirayut Srus, can't read that, founder and CEO of the cryptocurrency exchange BitCub. Not long ago, he urged Thailand's authorities to open their arms to the digital asset industry. According to him, the country could multiply its GDP by six times by doing so. So I don't remember any of these names. I don't remember Binance partnering or working with the Gulf Energy Development, PCL. I remember news before that apparently, I remember the word Thailand and cryptocurrency exchange in some sort of way. Maybe they were creating their own cryptocurrency exchange. I don't remember anymore. But apparently this is now going to be happening with Binance. So they're looking to establish their own cryptocurrency exchange. I guess is going to be called Binance Thailand within the region. Yeah, like I said, there's Binance news every single day. They're always doing multiple things and acquiring multiple companies. And I think, this is about the 8th place that I can keep track of that Binance is trying to open another cryptocurrency exchange in. So, I can't keep track of it all. But yeah, That's the Binance news. No one should be surprised. Binance is expanding every single day. Still wonder why Gemini isn't doing the exact same thing. I don't think I'll ever know. A lot of people say that I've asked this question before, but a lot of people say that they like the Gemini exchange. Apparently, it's really easy. It's really simple. Apparently, people have had no issues with them. Why aren't the Gemini twins expanding the same exact way that Binance and maybe Coinbase is as well? Kind of confusing. Not really sure. Anyway, that's the Binance billionaire cryptocurrency exchange Gulf Energy Development PCL news. Quite exciting. Alrighty, let's move on. Yeah, I do hope that looks so sad. They're just like standing by themselves. Oh, now they have friends. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be on this crazy, crazy planet. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, subscribing, and supporting, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See